I'll give this house to my parents. If you go against it, it's a divorce. What is he talking about? Matthew said this to me while I was grieving the loss of my mother. He laughed at me while I was sad. I realized that my love for him had disappeared. Instead, I felt anger towards Matthew and my in-laws. Okay, but you'll regret it. Shut up, idiot. He didn't take my words seriously. He laughed and handed me a completed divorce form. If he's serious about it, I'll show him my seriousness. I won't let him get away with underestimating me. I smiled and left the house with the divorce form. I went to my uncle's house. The next day, I went to the mansion occupied by my in-laws with my uncle. Where were you yesterday? The housekeeper can't leave, you know? Housekeeper? Who are you talking about? Who else? You're the one. I'm already divorced, though. Matthew froze at my words. My uncle spoke up to Matthew. I have something to say as a lawyer regarding this matter. My name is Ruby. I'm a 35-year-old part-time housewife. I don't have a father. He passed away when I was still young due to an accident. As a result, my mother raised me alone. She was a savvy businesswoman who built a large company on her own. I didn't want to make you suffer financially because we're a single-parent family. You have to live longer than your father, Ruby. My mother always said that and worked hard. Thanks to her, I never had any financial problems. Sis, Ruby, I came to see you because I was nearby for work. Oh, it's tough even though it's your day off. Well, yeah. Oh, where's the heavy package you said you had trouble carrying the other day? I'll do that. My uncle helped me with his busy schedule, so I didn't have much trouble. However, our family's lesson is to do things on our own and get what we want through our own efforts. Mom, can I work part-time? I want to buy something. Sure, what do you want? The book I need to get the qualification I want. Oh, Ruby. You're such a good girl. So I didn't spare any effort either. My mother always praised me for that. As a result, I am now in a position of responsibility at my current company. I fell in love with you at first sight, and I was more attracted to you when I saw you working hard without sparing any effort. I met my husband Matthew at that company. He approached me aggressively, and I was attracted to his enthusiasm and we got married. We don't have any children, but we live a normal life. One day, I worked overtime because of a long meeting and went home. You're finally back. I'm hungry, so make me food quickly. Matthew was playing with his smartphone on the sofa without saying welcome back when I returned home. I sighed at his appearance. I told you I'd be late today, so I told you to eat first, didn't I? Oh, did you? I did contact you, and you replied, I understood. Just make me food quickly. He said that and continued to lie on the sofa as usual. He is unlike me and has no position. He is what you call a regular employee. I ask him to do housework, but he never does it. He leaves his clothes on the floor and doesn't even clean up the dishes he ate. At first, when we got married, he was concerned about me and helped with housework. You know, I just got home from work and I'm tired. You have the luxury of lying on the sofa while I'm exhausted, so prepare your own food. You're annoying because you're infertile. I was irritated by his words. It's true that we don't have children. However, it's not just my fault. We both have a body that makes it difficult to have children. That's the same for you. It's your fault. You can't have children because your body is defective. Despite that, Matthew blames only me. Perhaps he is hurt by his pride in the relationship that he cannot promote despite my position. In other words, it's jealousy and resentment. That has nothing to do with this. Besides, if I'm defective, what are you doing? You don't do any work or housework. What did you say? Are you making fun of me? That day, we had a fight. Matthew, who was sulking, ended up sleeping in the bedroom without eating anything. I held my head in my hands. For me, who had worked hard until now, I couldn't understand his behavior. What should I do? While warming up the prepared food, I muttered so. The next morning, I woke up later than usual because it was a rare holiday with nothing to do. Matthew, he's not here. Matthew, who usually sleeps until noon, is nowhere to be seen. He must have gone to his parents' house. Thinking so, I got ready and headed to the hospital. Mom, I'm here. Oh, Ruby. Are you off today? Yes. How are you feeling? I feel the same as always. My mother collapsed at work the other day and is currently hospitalized. Surely, my mother felt unwell before she collapsed. However, she ignored it and worked, so her body reached its limit and she collapsed. Even now, she is working in the hospital bed despite her poor physical condition. How about you? Are you okay? I returned her worried look with a smile. I can't afford to cause my mother any more mental stress. More importantly, the treat in front of the company was beautiful again this year. Do you want to see the photo I took? Yes, I want to see it. Thinking so, I changed the subject. After that, I chatted happily with my mother and left the hospital for a while. Ugh, it's from my mother-in-law. When I looked at the notification on my smartphone, I received a message from my mother-in-law. Honestly, I don't want to call her back, but she calls me from over there. So I reluctantly answered the phone. Hey, what have you been doing all this time? I went to see my mother. What? You're putting your husband aside and prioritizing your parents. I frowned at the screaming voice I heard over the phone. As expected, Matthew seems to have gone to his parents' house. His mother complains about it. Really, he's old enough to let go of my children. Matthew also hides behind his parents right away, it's really pathetic. Thinking that, I hung up the phone and let it go. What's wrong, Ruby? You look really unhappy. Oh, Uncle. Are you here to visit Mom too? Yeah, that's right. I was called out by my uncle, who was watching from somewhere. There was a man behind him. Uncle, is that person a coworker? Yeah, that's right. I'll introduce him because he might be related to you in the future. I'm Ryan. Nice to meet you. He gave me his business card, and I gave him mine. Then, my uncle said, I have something to talk to my niece about, so go to the hospital first, and urged him to go to the hospital first. So? Who was that phone call? Oh, it was your mother-in-law. I explained the situation with a wry smile. Matthew, who runs away to his parents' house when we fight, and my mother-in-law who calls me infertile while protecting Matthew. My uncle, who listened to my story, had a headache. I don't want you to tell your mother about this. I don't want to worry her anymore. I understand. My uncle nodded with a subtle expression. I said please to him and parted with him. It was soon after that. Really? My mother? My mother's condition suddenly worsened, and she passed away when I rushed to the hospital. I was stunned and couldn't keep up with the sudden separation. My uncle supported me firmly and arranged the funeral. All right. The inheritance is ours now. That's right. She's the president of a large corporation, isn't she? I wonder how much inheritance there is. The inheritance of a wife belongs to the husband's family. We can say goodbye to that shabby house. What brought me back to my senses was such an insensitive conversation. Matthew and my in-laws were laughing during the funeral. Get out. I couldn't believe what they were saying, and my uncle chased them out for me. Matthew and the others tried to resist, but they realized that they were being stared at by the people around them and left the funeral hall while cursing my uncle. Ruby. If you want to cut ties with them, let me know anytime. Okay, thank you. After that, I didn't want to go back to Matthew's house. So, I decided to live temporarily in the mansion that was my mother's inheritance. This was the house that my mother was particular about, and there were many memories. I planted flowers in the garden to heal my busy mother, and played hide-and-seek on holidays using this spacious mansion. Even though she was supposed to be busy with work, my mother always kept me company. When I spend time in this mansion, I remember those days. If I'm not here, you can do whatever you want with this house. My mother said that when she was alive, so why not just? When I thought that way, the doorbell rang. Maybe my uncle was worried and came to see me. He used to come to see me without an appointment, saying that it was part of his work since I was a child, so I opened the front door. You were here after all. Huh, Matthew? Anne. Wow. What a nice house. Hey. What are you doing in my mother's house? No, it's ours. The name of this house is my parents'. My head turned blank at his words. My parents'? It's my mother's inheritance, so why is it my in-laws? I had the name changed by a friend of mine who is a judicial scrivener. What are you doing? That's so selfish. Shut up. A wife's property belongs to her husband's family. Oh, don't worry. I'll leave you as a housekeeper. Then, Matthew grinned. Give the house to my parents. If you go against it, it's a divorce. What is he talking about? Matthew said this to me while I was grieving the loss of my mother. He laughed at me while I was sad. I realized that my love for him had disappeared. Instead, I felt anger towards Matthew and my in-laws. Okay, but you'll regret it. Shut up, idiot. He didn't take my words seriously. He laughed and handed me a completed divorce form. If he's serious about it, I'll show him my seriousness. I won't let him get away with underestimating me. I smiled and left the house with the divorce form. I went to my uncle's house. What? They're quite presumptuous. I immediately consulted my uncle, who is a lawyer. Changing the name without permission is illegal and should not be possible. Nevertheless, a judicial scrivener who is an acquaintance was allowed to do such a thing. It's okay. I'll protect my sister's house. Of course, I'll protect you too, Ruby. My uncle said that and we immediately went in. The sadness of losing my mother has completely turned into anger towards them. There's no way I'm going to forgive those unreasonable parents and a child. The next day, I went to the mansion occupied by my in-laws with my uncle. Where were you yesterday? The housekeeper can't leave. Housekeeper? Who are you talking about? Who else? It's you. I'm already divorced. Matthew was stunned by my words. Then my uncle spoke to him. As a lawyer, I have something to tell you about this matter. My uncle looked coldly at Matthew. By the way, I wrote my own part on the divorce papers that were handed to him yesterday and submitted them immediately. When I reported this, Matthew was stunned. He probably didn't understand. What's going on? Then my in-laws came out, probably because they heard the commotion. My uncle explained that the rightful owner of this house is me and that changing the name without permission is illegal. What are you talking about? A judicial scrivener I know did the proper procedures. Who is that? This is a complete forgery of private documents. My uncle took care of my in-laws, and I had to deal with Matthew, who was glaring at me. You, don't do anything stupid. Oh, who did something stupid first? At least I didn't do anything illegal. Matthew was stunned by my words. He couldn't even say anything. I feel like I know why Matthew can't get promoted. You're infertile. I can still get pregnant. You're hopeless, so you can't have children. What? I'll never forgive you for belittling the memories of my dear mother. Matthew looked down when I glared at him. My uncle also silenced my in-laws. Get out of this mansion right now. And be prepared. They turned pale at our cold stares. I won't let them get away with trampling on the memories of me and my mother. My sister was aware of your situation. My mother seemed to be aware of my situation and asked my uncle to help me. She probably didn't say anything to me because she didn't want to worry me. So, please help me, she said to my uncle. When I investigated, it turned out that Matthew and his family had boasted about taking over my mother's inheritance when she died. So my mother made a will to make sure it wouldn't be taken away. My uncle introduced Ryan, who was entrusted with the will. It says here that all the inheritance is entrusted to Ruby, who is the daughter. And the mansion in question is free for Ruby to use. It was clearly written in the will entrusted to Ryan. Matthew, who turned pale, began to cling to me. Please. I've already sold my house and my parents' house. What? Why would you do something so reckless? Actually, it seems that Matthew had made a loan without telling me. And it was for gambling. He took advantage of my busy schedule to gamble every day and spent a lot of money. He sold both houses to pay off the debt. I didn't know that. Ruby, you're still my wife, right? I'm not your wife anymore. You have two options. Either you go to the police for forgery of private documents or you buy the mansion for $3 million. What? Matthew, who sold his house to pay off his debt, can't possibly have $3 million. Of course, the same goes for my in-laws. Seeing him like that, I decided to file a complaint with the police. Moreover, when I drove my in-laws out and looked inside the mansion, there were some things missing. I've lost her keepsake. What could this mean? It wasn't me. Mother said to sell anything she didn't like. Apparently, my in-laws sold it without permission. Another lawsuit to add to the list. In the end, Matthew and they were left with a huge debt. Of course, he was also fired from the company. I am now the president of the company, which was passed down to me by my mother. Get that stupid wife out of here. In such a situation, my father-in-law, who was left alone, stormed into the company. He caused a scene, demanding that we withdraw the complaint and give him money, so he ended up being taken care of by the police as well. My uncle laughed bitterly, saying that they were an irredeemable family. It seems like we've found out who that lawyer is. It seems that the lawyer in question was Matthew's cousin. He made me out to be a villain, took advantage of weakness and forced him to cooperate. And then cut off his cousin's path as a lawyer by reporting him to the authorities. He resented the in-laws for this incident and caused the whole family to say things like, I was deceived, and they're demons, causing the in-laws to be isolated. I mean, their family is like a dangerous one. Yeah, it seems so. Well, they can pull each other down as much as they want. I had no feelings about it. So, have you decided what to do with that mansion? Yeah, I decided to sell it. Certainly, that mansion was filled with memories of my mother. However, it was tainted by my in-laws. Besides, it was too big for me to live in alone. If Ruby has decided that, then it's up to you. I'm on your side. Saying that, my uncle supported my decision. And so, I sold that mansion. Fortunately, a wealthy person who wanted to spend the rest of their life there bought it early. I said goodbye to my mother's memories and left the mansion. From now on, I will live alone in an apartment near the company. Ruby. Oh, Ryan. I came here after asking my senior. I was approached by Ryan as I left the company. He helped me with various things, such as investigating Matthew's family and collecting evidence. Gradually, our distance narrowed, and we started calling each other by name, influenced by my uncle. Can I have some of your time? Sure, no problem. So we went to a cafe near the company. Thank you for everything, including my mother's case. No, I wanted to help Ruby. Saying that, Ryan looked at me seriously. I was surprised, but I looked back at him. I like you, Ruby. What? I know it might not be the right time, since you just finished things with Matthew. But please think about it when you're ready. Saying that, Ryan gave me his contact information. I was aware of his feelings. However, until now, I couldn't see him that way. I'm serious. I felt that he was lovely as he blushed and said that. Maybe it would be good to get married again. That's what I thought. After a while, my in-laws apparently broke into that mansion to try to get it back. Maybe they thought I was still there. However, it was already owned by a wealthy person. That wealthy person had prepared various securities, so Matthew and his family were immediately arrested. They already had a criminal record, so they received a prison sentence. Please. Ruby. Help me. I forgot to block his contact, and Matthew contacted me like that. He was really stupid. Apparently, only my in-laws broke in, and Matthew was spared because he was asking for help everywhere. However, Matthew still had a debt that was too heavy for him to bear alone. Can't you learn already? I'm not going to help you. Wait. We were married once. Really? I'm amazed at my own lack of judgment about this. I realized that I shouldn't give in to you. I have to be more careful from now on. Well, it doesn't seem like I have to worry about that. Is that all you wanted to talk about? Ruby. One more time with me. I refuse. Goodbye, then. I hung up after telling him that. This time, I blocked his contact so I wouldn't forget. Is the call over? Yes, it's over. After that, I decided to accept Ryan's kindness. We are now engaged. My uncle pushed me, saying, "This guy is serious." Hey, Ryan. I have a hard time getting pregnant and I'm getting old. As long as I have you, I'm fine. Besides, having children isn't the only way to have a family. I thought that I could build a happy family with him. After that, I talked to my uncle about Matthew, Ryan, and the child. I see. If you've decided that, that's fine. I've been thinking about it for a while, but why are you such a good ally to me, uncle? Oh, that's a promise with your father. According to my uncle, my father and uncle were originally best friends. I was asked him to help you and your mother if anything happened to him. He said, "Please be on your side." I see. And to me, you're like a daughter. I smiled at my uncle, who laughed and said that he was on my side. I'm really glad he's on my side. Be happy. Yes, of course. I promised my uncle that I would be happy from now on. After that, I married Ryan. We enjoyed living together for a while and chose to adopt a child. This is my grandchild. My uncle also loves the child. I pour a lot of love into him, just like my mother did for me. It's our child, so it'll be okay, no matter what. Yes, that's right. There may be many trials ahead of us. However, we can overcome them. I will teach the lessons my mother taught me, be an ally like my uncle, and deliver honest feelings to my child like Ryan. I swore to do so.